Hello student, in last lecture we learn about design specification of an assembler. In that we learn about there are different phases during the language translation process like synthesis phase and analysis phase, and different jobs are performed during the analysis phase and synthesis phase. Like in analysis phase, the location counter processing is performed, means memory allocation activity is performed during the analysis phase, and the program is synthesized during the synthesis phase. Today we learn about path structure of an assembler. Now, when the language translator translate the program, it is possible that it may use multiple passes to translate the program. But if your language translator use multiple passes to translate the program, it will take much time to process the program. So there is a need to reduce the numbers of passes in your assembler. So here we learn about two pass translation and single pass translation. First we learn about two pass translation. Now in this figure, this is a overview of two pass translation process. Here two passes are given, pass 1 and pass 2. Pass 1 means your analysis phase and pass 2 means your synthesis phase. Here source program is given to pass 1 means analysis phase, and then that given to the second pass means your synthesis phase, and then the target program is generated. In this diagram, the solid line arrow is represent the data access and the dotted line represent for control transfer. Means once the analysis phase is performed, means once the source program analysis is performed, the control goes to pass 2, means for synthesizing the program. Now first see here, source program is given to analysis phase, then analysis phase convert the source program into intermediate representation. Okay, means the source program is converted, means the source program is given to analysis phase, and then analysis phase convert that source program into intermediate representation. The intermediate representation contains two kinds of component. The first component becomes a data structure, like your symbol table is there, other different tables that use during the analysis phase, that also consider as a data structure, and the second becomes the intermediate code. Now here the source program is converted into the intermediate code form, and then that intermediate code is given to the pass 2, means synthesize of the program, and then the synthesis phase convert your intermediate code representation into a target program. Now here we learn about how the problem of forward referencing is handled here. Now see here, in two pass translation process, the problem of forward referencing is handled naturally. Why? Because when the analysis phase is performed, at that time during the analysis phase intermediate code is generated, and once the end statement is processed, it gets all the addresses of all the symbols. Means before the synthesis of the program start, the assembler know all the addresses of the symbol. Means in this way the problem of forward referencing is handled naturally here. Okay, what is mean by forward referencing? That we learn in last two lectures. Forward referencing means what? If we are using a symbol before its definition in a program, then that is known as a forward referencing. And how the forward referencing problem is handled? In two pass translation. In two pass translation, the forward referencing problem is handled naturally. means the problem of forward referencing handled naturally, because once the analysis phase is finished, during the analysis phase is finished, the assembler know all the addresses of all the symbol, means before synthesizing the program, the assembler know all the addresses of the symbol, means in this way the problem of forward referencing is handled naturally in a two-pass translation model. This is an overview diagram of two-pass translation model. Now we learn about single pass translation. The second one becomes single pass translation. In a single pass translation, location counter processing is performed, and also the data structure is also constructed during the single pass translation. Now, how the forward referencing problem handled during a single pass translation? We learn that in two pass translation, the problem of forward referencing is handled naturally, because after finishing the analysis phase, the synthesis phase begins. So, forward referencing is handled naturally. Then how the forward referencing is handled during a single pass translation? So, to handle the forward referencing, a single pass translation use a technique called back patching. What? Called back patching. Means by using a back patching technique, a single pass translation handle the problem of forward referencing. Means how this back patching technique works? When any instruction come, when any statement come where the forward reference symbol is occur, at that time assembler leaves that operand field blank. Means when any instruction, when any statement occur where referencing symbol used, at that time the assembler simply leaves the operand field is blank, and after finishing the program, means when the program is going to executed, going to translated, then when the symbol definition come, at that time the address is given to the in that instruction. Means in this way the back patching technique is performed. Now to implement the back patching technique, the assembler use another data structure as TII. Assembler use the another data structure as TII, means table of incomplete instruction, means table of incomplete instruction. Means when the single pass is performed, at that time the assembler must know that which statement contains the forward referencing problem. So to note that one, it use the table of incomplete instruction. Means when a forward reference occur during any statement, at that time the assembler perform the entry in TII as instruction address, comma symbol, means at which instruction the forward referencing symbol come. Means suppose consider that at instruction 110 symbol 1 is come, then at that time instruction address is given as 110 and which symbol is come? So 1. Means in this way the assembler know that at which instruction the forward referencing problem is occur. Means in this way the entries are performed in TII table, and once the execution is finished, means once the end statement is processed, at that time the symbol table contains all the entries of symbol, means the symbol table contains the address and name of the symbol. So by using that symbol table, this TII table is completed. Means by using this TII table, the instruction address is given for the second operand. means which forward reference symbol is used there. Means by using the TIR table and symbol table, it gives the address of the forward referencing symbol. Means in this way a single pass translation model works. Example of forward referencing. Suppose your assembly program is there and it contains a statement move r breg, 1. But this one symbol is defined later as 1 DC 1. So here when this statement is executed, at that time the symbol 1 is known as a forward referencing symbol because its definition occur later. And consider that suppose this instruction is located at the address 110, then what the assembler do when this instruction is executed, at that time it know that for the statement 110 the forward referencing symbol 1 is come. So it enters in TIR table as 110, 1. Means at the instruction 110, one symbol 1 is there, which is a forward referencing problem. Means in a TIR table entry is performed like this. Means after finishing, after executing this 1 DC1, means once the entry of this 1 is done in the symbol table, at that time when the end statement is processed, then the symbol table entry is taken and TIR table entry is taken, and then it founds that one at the statement 110, one operand contains 1 whose address is remaining. So it takes the address from the symbol table and then that entry is performed in the instruction. Means in this way a single pass translation model works.